This is very exciting. This is a slightly different video today because we are looking at fragrances or beauty-based products, let's say, for sports performance. And I am going to introduce you to Fit Kit. So yes, good morning. It has been a long time since I've done one of these videos. Over the sort of past year or so, I've looked at how fragrances and certain particular perfume notes can help enhance sports performance. Someone like myself who likes my long distance running, I always want something that's going to give me that extra 5% to get me to the finish line, just make me enjoy my actual exercise experience even more. And we found those like peppermint, eucalyptus can certainly enhance performance. Lavender has a calming effect. Well, today we've got something a little bit different. Now there is one deodorant, but there aren't really any fragrances from this kit. Sorry, it's very, very sunny today. But we are looking at a brand called Fit Kit, which basically it's got very good reviews, and it says it has enhancing performance benefits and also for muscle recovery. And this one here is a deodorant, a vitamin D deodorant, but most of them, when you look at it, they're magnesium based products. And what I want to see today during my sort of workout is, do they really enhance performance? So what we're going to look at is, there's about 7 products here, but we're only going to look at a few that are relevant, to the actual exercise itself. So we're going to start with the deodorant for our workout today. So we're going to go for a run in a minute, and we're going to use this magnesium body moisturizer, which I'm going to rub on my legs. It says it's got magnesium in 3 different forms and hemp protein to hopefully enhance performance. And then obviously, as usual, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to use the caffeine shampoo and conditioner, and also this shower gel, which has magnesium and sauna oils in. So yes, very interesting to see, does my performance improve with these fragrance products as well today? So yeah, what we're going to do, we're going to start as usual with the first 2 we're going to apply for my runs. We'll use the moisturizer and we'll use the vitamin D deodorant. So just before I go into that, I'm going to quickly show you the other products that they do, which I haven't tried yet, so it's hard to confirm whether they're going to be effective. But this one here is a magnesium, sorry, it's very, very bright, isn't it? A magnesium bath oil. So I don't have baths very often, to be honest with you, but that's got lavender and magnesium in. Again, as we just said, calming effects. Magnesium, I used to take a lot of magnesium supplements with exercise. Essentially, yeah, it's been shown to sort of prevent cramps. It's been shown to sort of enhance like I think it's the neurons in your muscles, essentially to stimulate your muscles to prepare you for a workout. We've also got a face moisturizer, which has vitamin B in and almond extract. Again, I think there's probably a bit of magnesium in that as well, but it's to bring you and your skin back to life. So obviously when you're out exercising a lot, skin can get quite dry, I tend to find, particularly in the winter time. My hands particularly suffer with that. So yeah, that's to moisturize your skin. And then the third one is actually another shower gel, muscle cooling, peppermint and charcoal. Charcoal's an interesting one. I've used charcoal in things like toothpaste before, and that kind of has a bit of a cleaning effect, I thought. So why it's actually used as a shower gel, I suppose, keep you clean. But anyway, let's look at the first 2 we're going to use today. So I've not actually opened any of these yet. I have no idea how effective they are. This smells very nice. This is the vitamin D deodorant, vitamin D and orange. Now, if we read to say why vitamin D and orange, it says sweaty workouts deplete your electrolytes, making you feel fatigued. Help replenish them with our containing vitamin D to increase energy and orange to boost your mood. So essentially it's kind of an electrolyte enhancer. Now I drink electrolyte after my workout as well. And it says use daily and after exercise to dehydrate and re-energize. Apply thin layer to your underarms to maximize vitamin D absorbency. So let's do that now. Apologies, you don't want to see my sweaty armpits. I never use like these roll-on deodorants. I always think of them as being a bit of a faff. But the orange in this smells really good, by the way. And it definitely has a bit of a cooling effect. There we are, all well rubbed in. Yeah, that smells really nice. And again, something I really don't like with deodorants, particularly a lot of times, those sort of chemical burns. I don't feel like you're going to get that with this one here. So that's that one. And then this magnesium body moisturizer. Well, of course, when I'm running, the place I find the most uncomfortable, the place that gets the most tired on my legs, particularly my calves, my legs, but my quads and my calves in particular, the bits that suffer. So we're going to rub a bit of that on. Apologies for the terrible camera angle for you, but pardon me. It's coming out. Oh wow, it's coming out very slowly. So let's rub that in. So this one, it says, we look at the instructions. Use part of daily routine to maximize magnesium levels. Apply throughout the body and massage. It doesn't really give you a lot more. It says here, why magnesium and hemp protein? Magnesium levels drop after tough workouts, With magnesium needs to repair muscles, it's best to rebuild your supplies quickly. We can help. We use different forms of magnesium to ensure there's multiple pathways into the skin. We've added hemp protein, which contains a complete set of amino acids to push the absorption further. Let's go again tomorrow. Let's go again now. Moisturiser rubbed in. Now, initial impressions of this, I don't tend to apply moisturiser hardly ever at all, to be honest. And yeah, it's a little bit sticky. I'm not a big fan of that, but there is a nice cooling effect. I think a lot of the feeling I'm getting from this, obviously at the minute, it's only been a few minutes since I applied it. It's not so much obviously the magnesium or the protein or anything like that working in this. It's just that sort of cooling effect and that feeling of having a massage. Massaging obviously does it stimulate blood flow, and I think that's what's happening while I'm doing that process of rubbing into my legs. I'm just activating the muscles a little bit. So we're going to head out for our run now. We're going to see sort of after a couple of checkpoints during my run how I feel, and obviously at the end later. And yeah, we'll just see how it goes today. Can Fit Kit help improve my exercise performance? Can beauty-based products improve sports performance? Really look forward to trying this today. I'll see you out there. And yes, we are off. So Fit Kit, body creams, body moisturisers, shower gels, shampoo, bath salts. We've got the full range here. And of course, I need to mention this, and I'm sure none of you think with the amount of subscribers and obviously the amount of views I get on my videos, I have any sort of bias in this at all, or any sort of collaboration, whatever, from this company. Of course I don't. It was literally a birthday gift from my family, which I'm very much looking forward to using. And let's start with my initial impressions then. So obviously for this run this morning we're using the vitamin D deodorant, and we're also using the body moisturiser, which has magnesium and hemp protein in. Now my initial impressions are my legs, I must admit, do feel quite good. They don't feel stiff, they don't feel like they're aching. Do they feel like re-energised or anything? A little bit. I mean, there's no cooling effect or anything I'm getting from this this cream in particular, which I thought I might get. I almost sort of felt the sort of effect and positive reviews this gets is because it almost tricks your mind, because you're getting like this cooling effect on the surface of the skin. It's not really absorbing in and actually having any impact on your muscles. But I must say, compared to yesterday, my legs do feel better. And that might just be pure coincidence. It's a lovely warm day, and I'm only just starting my run really. So we're going to do a sort of update in about halfway through to see if there's any impact. But at the moment, yeah, feel really fresh, feel really good. There's no tightness, there's no cramping. Now, if we look at the vitamin D deodorant, I'm not sweating at the moment, I'm not really trying hard enough. Do I think in terms of, essentially that vitamin D one's to replace the electrolytes that you lose in sweat? I don't think this one can really work. Look, ultimately for me, I want a deodorant to stop me from smelling. And this one is a really nice sort of soft orange smell that does feel quite strong, quite prominent. So that's absolutely fine. It's doing its job, what it's for. Do I think it's going to replenish the electrolytes I'm losing my sweat? Of course not. You're still going to need to put fluids in your body. But that's absolutely fine. I'm not expecting miracles with that one. But is it making me feel a little bit cooler? Maybe so under the arms. As I said, there is a bit of breeze, you can tell. And I'm not trying hard. But do I think it's going to stop me from smelling, which is the most important thing? Yes, I do. So initial impressions on this Fit Kit, yes, my legs do feel quite energised at the moment. Whether that effect will last, who knows? But let's just hope it is the Fit Kit that's helping me giving me that extra 5%. We can't expect it to be a miracle cure or a miracle sort of supplement solution. But yeah, the initial impressions, I'm feeling good. So for those of you watching this so far, I have a question for you. Do you take supplements? Are you someone that uses supplements for general health or for sports performance? And which ones do you take, and do they work in your opinion for what you need them to do? Now, I actually take around 6 or 7 different types of supplements. I take creatine, which is meant to help explosive performance, particularly with lifting weights. Hopefully means you can do it 2 or 3 more. It's also meant to be good for your brain health. I also take something called glucosamine, which is essentially a joint supplement, so preventing arthritis, all those things. I do get a bit of knee pain with running, so I always hope that helps. I take Korean ginseng, which is like again a bit of a stimulant essentially to help you push a little bit further. And then I also take powders like whey protein powders, pre-workout powders and electrolyte, which keep me hydrated. Now, my brother's obviously recently got into his exercise work, and he always does actually ask me, do you think this works? Does that one work? Is it worth paying the money to get this? Is this one better than this? Personally, I would always say with supplements, The only way you ever know if they work is try them, see how you feel, and then also come off them again. I've recently come off creatine a little bit because I almost used it as a bit of a crutch. You know, even on my days off, recovery days for exercise, I used to have it because I heard it's so good for keeping you alert and keeping your brain active during like a long shift essentially. And I did think, oh, it definitely does work. But since I've reduced the dose and some days I don't have it at all, I personally found the gain is minimal. It's not as big as a gain as I thought it was going to be. And I've only noticed that since I've come off it. So I think supplements are very much trial and error. Do I think they can be beneficial? Yes. But I think the most important thing is not to cut corners. Make sure you sleep well, make sure you eat well, make sure you keep hydrated, you keep active. If you do all those things, I think the gains with supplements are quite minimal. But can they help? Absolutely. But it doesn't work for everyone. We all can eat and do different things. We can survive on different amounts of sleep, different amount of exercise. We're all different, so don't think one supplement works the same for everyone, because I don't think it does. But so far, do I think that this Fit Kit is giving me those little minimal gains, those little 5% gains? Maybe so. Could that just be a subconscious thing, a placebo effect? Maybe so, absolutely it could be. But whether it's placebo or not, as long as I think it works and I feel better, that's all that matters. And so far, I'm feeling still good. I must admit, we're nearly halfway through now, and I am feeling very, very fresh this morning. And plus, I'm still not really sweating. I've got to run a bit harder. And the second question I've got for you today is, have you ever had a massage or a sports massage? Now, I can relate to this, definitely. I've had two. One was part of my university course when I was doing a sports massage module. The lecturer who was running the course, essentially he did a leg and a back massage because we had to train to do them ourselves. And he did my back, and what he used to say is, in your back you have like these muscle knots essentially, and he found loads in my back, and honestly he said, I've got to sort of dig in there to release them. The pain after, it was not relaxing at all. And he also did a leg massage for me, and the story around this was, there's a test for your sort of flexibility, and my hamstring flexibility, he said, and he was a lecturer for over 25 years by this stage, he said I had the worst hamstring flexibility he'd ever seen. You did something called a sit and reach test, where essentially you put your feet against the box and you've got to sort of reach out to touch it. And I couldn't reach the box, so he had to grab a ruler to measure back, so it was like minus 17 or something, my sit and reach score, which was equivalent to an 85-year-old man. So he gave me a sort of leg massage after, and he got it down to about -4. But he did say, yeah, your muscles, because you're a runner and you clearly don't stretch, are absolutely terrible. So yeah, sports massages. I also had another one which I paid about £40 for. Look, I found the effect of those really good. I think in terms of that, it helps you drain into your lymphatic drainage system, and it does loosen your muscles. So I definitely recommend sports massages if you're someone who exercises a lot. It will give you a much greater effect, I've found, than these creams and these oils that you can get on the market today for exercise recovery. But now we are at the halfway stage. How am I finding it? Do you know what? I'm still feeling really, really good. But I'm going to be honest with you here. That might just be because I didn't finish late at work yesterday. So obviously the run I did yesterday when it was time for recording this, it's Monday morning today, so I had yesterday off work. So now I'm on to my second day off. I've had plenty of time to chill out and relax. And that means you get a better night's sleep. And obviously you haven't got as much stress on your mind knowing you're off today. So all these factors can play a part as well. But again, small margins, 5% gain, maybe so. Either way, whether it's a psychological thing or a physical thing, I'm feeling really good and I'm enjoying this run so much more as a result. So far, Fit Kit, you get a thumbs up. We are back, yes, at last, at long, long last. It is 21 minutes past 1. I have done 42,304 steps. So a bit of perspective, because obviously I've done quite a long workout here. What is that roughly in miles? Well, I always think 10,000 steps is essentially 6 miles. So I've kind of done around 24 miles, probably just a little bit under that with the steps we've done today. So quite a lot. As you can imagine, that's quite a lot of exercise. How has it gone? How have my Fit Kit creams, products, deodorants, whatever you want to say, shower gel, shampoos, how have they got on today? Have they helped me with my performance? Well, I think it's important to go into the first ones that we use. So obviously this morning we used this vitamin D deodorant, and again they kind of say it's a re-energize, to kind of replace the electrolytes you lose during sweat. And yeah, that's kind of why the vitamin D here is essentially meant to boost your mood. It's kind of known as the sunshine vitamin. Obviously when it's very hot outside, get vitamin D from the sun, so it's kind of that energizing, uplifting type deodorant. Personally, I did enjoy that. I thought it was really good in that sense. I actually thought it was, yeah, it kept me cool. That was the main thing I wanted. I didn't want to feel sweaty under the armpits, and I didn't at all with that one. So very happy with that. I also think sometimes when you have some of those deodorants, they can leave white patches under your arms. I don't think that roll-on's going to do that, but yeah, that'll obviously be something I'll have to assess over time. And this was the main one I wanted to use today, the Magnesium Body Moisturiser. As you saw this morning, rubbed it on my legs. It has 3 different forms of magnesium in and hemp protein. And essentially, as it said here, magnesium, there's multiple pathways into the skin, so did it easily absorb into my skin? Yes, it did. I didn't have any problems about that, but we'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. And then hemp protein contains a complete set of amino acids to put the absorption further. Let's go again tomorrow. So I should have probably realised this is actually more about a reset, recharge the batteries type of thing, rather than pre-workout, essentially, product. And I think I noticed that, because one of the downsides I'm going to say with this, it did leak a bit. So obviously it was all into my skin fine when it was obviously rubbed in. By about sort of mile 12 on my run, so getting near the end, I noticed my legs were absolutely drenched, sweaty, obviously, of course, and I could see the cream essentially leaking out of my skin, just staining my shorts and everything, but also attracting a lot of flies. I had a lot of dead flies and ants just, yeah, landing into my sweat on my legs, because this body moisturiser wasn't essentially allowing the sweat to really escape from my pores. So yeah, did I feel like my performance improved? Did I feel as tight in the muscles? Maybe I didn't. Maybe that's more of a subconscious thing. Maybe that's more of a placebo effect. And also the fact I was off work yesterday, so I've had an extra day off to recover, to feel more refreshed than I did the day before. So not so sure. Now my concern with this is obviously if I put it on at night, which I'm going to try and do tonight, am I going to have the issue of where it's going to stain everything? Because obviously where it was seeping out my skin earlier, it could have stained my shorts quite easily. They're in the wash now. So I don't know, we'll have to see, but I don't want it to also stain my bed over there, or, you know, pyjamas or everything else that I've got on in terms of clothing. So we've got to be a little bit cautious with this one. But it did feel beneficial, and there was no sort of chemical burns or anything like that with these 2 products. So overall, big thumbs up. Are the gains huge? Do they make you feel like you've got a lot more energy and they're going to replace a food item or a drink? Absolutely not. You still need to do those other things. You still need to sleep well. You still need to make sure you recover and rest from your workouts and everything. So that's that. Again, no tightness, no issues, no chemical burn. That's the main thing. If I was doing an ultra marathon, would I apply these things beforehand now? Probably yes. And then of course we've come back, obviously, from the gym. At the gym, I used the shower gel and I used the shampoo and conditioner. And I have to say, I did really like the smell of this one. Moisturising coconut milk. I think that's where I'm getting this kind of chocolatey smell. You can kind of see from the brown coloration of this, it was very much that. Now, it talks about caffeine. Caffeine's the big thing here, gentle repair. It says here, why caffeine? Tough workout. Your hair probably looks worse than that towel you've used. Our shampoo contains caffeine, known to liven up the hair follicles, help strengthen your hair and bring you back to normal. Now, obviously I've got big curly hair at the moment, so it's absolutely fine, but it does feel quite dry. It doesn't feel like it's really moisturised it in the same way. Obviously I have coconut milk conditioners here as well, and I find they're a bit more effective than this one here that's a shampoo and conditioner. Don't like those combination of sort of products, essentially. Do I think that's really a bit gimmicky? I think they've just released this as an add-on, essentially just to complement the shower gels. Am I noticing a huge difference? I've got quite thick hair as it is. Personally myself, no. I'd quite happily just use a normal shampoo still at the moment. And then obviously this body recovery one. So this one here again is all about the magnesium. It says great workouts can lead straight to the sofa. We're here to get you moving again with magnesium, known to soothe tired muscles. Rub it in and get ready to go again. Of course, the thing that confused me with this one, you wash shower gel off, don't you, ultimately? Now, it is very thick. It's a very, very thick shower gel, which is why I was quite happy to just take it in this. I love the fact they've got a carabiner, because I do have issues with sometimes shower gels leaking in my gym bag. But yeah, this one, because it feels high quality, the shower gel's getting really, really thick. Unless it's being completely squeezed, it's not going to come out. It's not going to come out like like water or anything like that. So that's what I did like about it. It felt like a high quality shower gel, but do I feel really energized from it? Do I think the magnesium from this is gonna absorb into my muscles and make me feel fresh again? No, I don't. And I think if you look at these in isolation, they probably don't make a huge difference. You probably have to do that maybe before you go to bed and then apply that after to get the real effects. But they're not bad. The one thing I would say is there's real quality here with these beauty products. If you just want some really high quality things for someone who loves their sport, which is why my parents very kindly bought me this one, it's a great product to have. And I would definitely consider it for people that do like sport. But if you're thinking it's going to be this like, I don't know, it's going to cut corners essentially so that you don't have to concentrate so much on getting magnesium in your diet, or I don't know, whatever you use to supplement your performance, don't think of it like that. It's, if there is any gains, I think it's probably up here mainly, and you have to do everything else right for, I think, any sort of 5 or 10% improvement in your performance. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this one today. Again, I have got, and I don't know where I've put the wash bag now, but I have got other products obviously from FitKit. I've got a few more I need to try. I think there's a face cream as well. Obviously, we've got this bath oil as well, essentially, that I'd like to try as well. But let me know if you'd like me to put those ones on film to test them out, essentially, because, yeah, it's a very different video. So that smells amazing of lavender, by the way. That's really nice. But yeah, if you want to see me sort of review those ones, let you know if maybe the bath salts or anything else is more effective from this FitKit set, let me know, comment below, and I'll do a review on those ones as well. But yeah, very different video today. Most importantly, I hope you've enjoyed it. Overall though, FitKit, thumbs up, definitely a thumbs up. I think I might still stick to my Lush ones for the shampoos in particular. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.